This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this fine Sunday morning. I'm Tim Gordon. This morning on Sunrise, Oregon's minimum wage has gone up. Why small business owners say it will make things tougher for them, even though they want to pay their employees better. Plus, a senseless attack on a group of Portland cyclists, why the suspect now faces hate crime charges. But before we get to all that, let's check in with Daisy Caballero for a quick look at our Sunday forecast.
Hey, good morning, Tim. And yeah, good morning to all of our viewers. Taking you outside Lincoln City right now, picture perfect 57 degrees. Those winds are calm, a little bit warmer as we're looking above the Rose City, holding 59 degrees. Those winds coming out from the north-northwest at right about 6 miles an hour. Checking in at the rest of your current temperatures right now, still holding on to 49 degrees for Timber Junction, 55 for Forest Grove, 60 for Troutdale. We are going to start to warm up, and by the end, our peak high of the day, many of us are going to be warming up anywhere between 20 to 30 degrees. And I'll have that full forecast coming up in my main forecast. But taking a look at your day at a glance, we are expecting to see 76 degrees by noon. Again, sunny skies for the rest of the day, and then warming up about 10 degrees or so. High should be around 87, 88 degrees by 5 o'clock. But we still have your 4th of July forecast to talk about alongside a heat advisor a little bit later this week. But I'll have that full forecast coming up, Tim.
All right. Thanks a lot, Daisy. We'll see you then. Well, new this morning, and it's tough news to report, another mass shooting, this one in Baltimore. At least 30 people were shot at a block party overnight. 2 people are dead, while 3 others are in critical condition in the hospital this morning. This all happened just after midnight. Detectives spent most of the night at the scene trying to figure out exactly what happened, including if there are more victims. So far, no suspect is in custody there in Baltimore. Here in Portland, homicide detectives are investigating a fatal stabbing. This happened overnight in the Buckman neighborhood along Southeast 12th. Detectives say a man died at the scene. This all happened just before 2 a.m. Right now, no arrests have been made. Well, we're working to learn more about a hiker who died at Multnomah Falls on Saturday afternoon. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says a man fell from a trail just before 2 o'clock. It took first responders about an hour to get to him. The group he was with says they couldn't see him after he fell. The sheriff's office says the man fell about 100 to 150 feet. By the time they got to him, he had died. The sheriff's office says he lost his footing during the hike. They're saying this is a reminder to make sure that you are safe on those trails.
This isn't just going on a walk. This is a trail. This is a hiking trail, and so we encourage people to come prepared for an actual hike. It's not a paved walk, it's a hike.
So far, the man's name has not been released. And a young boy is in the hospital after a bad crash at a motocross race. This happened Saturday morning at the Washougal Motocross Park. The 10-year-old boy lost control of his motorcycle and was hit by 2 other riders. He had to be life-flighted to the hospital, and the Clark County Sheriff's Office says that 10-year-old boy is in critical condition. Well, a man now faces assault and hate crime charges after an attack on cyclists in northwest Portland. Police say the victims had been riding their bikes naked when the man attacked them with a pipe and yelled homophobic slurs. Authorities say 39-year-old Robert Houchins confronted the cyclists and yelled, "Get out of here," and used a homophobic slur. He reportedly struck 2 men in the back with a metal pipe, and it's unclear how bad the injuries are. One of the victims is gay.
If a person is gay, there's no reason to beat somebody with a pipe.
Myself have trans brothers and sisters, so it's like, yeah, that just kind of hits home a little bit.
According to court documents, the suspect had a pipe with him when he was arrested near the scene of the attack, which happened on June 3rd. Well, minimum wage workers in Oregon are now earning a little bit more. The minimum wage just increased 70 cents statewide, but how much workers will make varies based on what county that you live in. Here's Thomas Schultz.
In Portland, minimum wage is now $15.45. The standard statewide rate is $14.20. In non-urban counties, it's $12.50 an hour. Oregon unions praise the increase in pay, but some small business owners say it makes it more difficult for them to continue operations. There's a bustle of activity at Dan and Louie Oyster Bar as workers prepare for doors to open.
This was left in the till, casual labor.
Co-owner Michelle Walksmith is busy prepping the bar. But with minimum wage rising 70 cents Saturday, she knows money just got a little bit tighter.
We're still reeling from the hit we took for 3 full years, and it still hasn't recovered all the way. And so it's hard to pay people more money when you really don't have money.
Walksmith says she wants wages to rise because housing prices continue to soar. But increased pay may mean less staff.
We have to bare bones it and hope that when the rushes come, we have enough people here to cover the rush.
Representatives from the Oregon AFL-CIO, the statewide Federation of Labor Unions, said in a statement that the uptick will positively impact more than 100,000 Oregonians. They say the rise is a significant milestone. Some agree.
It's nice to see people being able to have enough money to afford the things they need to live.
But Christopher Lee Warner realizes there's two sides to the coin.
To some people, it's a good thing. And to small business owners that are struggling, it's not a good thing. Small
businesses like Walksmith's, which is struggling to compete with giant chains.
We recently had a cook leave, which I was paying $18 an hour, and he left because he could wash dishes and it was easier at McDonald's, literally.
Despite the bump, minimum wage workers are still a far ways off from being able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. A recent study by the National Low-Income Housing Coalition shows people need to make almost $30 an hour to afford that. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
In Washington, paycheck deductions have started for the Washington Cares Fund. That's the state's new long-term care insurance program. Eligible workers will pay 58 cents for every $100 earned. That is $58 out of every $1,000. The Department of Social and Health Services says nearly 70% of Washington residents will need long-term care at some point, and most cannot afford it.
It's a gut punch for families when a care need strikes. They have to balance work, paying for care, and caring for a loved one. It's a challenge, and it's going to become more and more of a challenge in the coming years.
Well, the fund will help Washingtonians access a benefit of $36,500 adjusted for inflation. It will become available for those who qualify in July 2026. When it comes to fighting climate change, the Pacific Northwest is known for some ambitious goals and priorities. For example, Oregon has pledged to cut emissions by 80% by the year 2050. Coming up next, how a new report lays out a path for the entire region to go even further. And remember, you can watch Sunrise anytime you want on KGW+. In fact, all of our news is on Roku and Amazon Fire. Just look for KGW and add us to your home screen. Watch us live, but then also you can stream Sunrise on your schedule.